Hey everybody, welcome to my space. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we're working on some hydroponics and I'm gonna show a step-by-step process of a little project that I'm gonna give a try for the first time and see how it works out for me. With that being said, as I worked on this project, I thought about self-reflection. All in all, like I was self-reflecting about self-reflection. And I sat with how often we can get tied in woe is me, victimhood, and cycles. And at some point, I sat with how it can't always be everybody else. Everybody else can't always be the problem. There can't be a story, perspective, or explanation for every single dynamic or situation you've been in. At some point, you gotta take a step back and be like, okay, hold on. How many friends, relationships, jobs, people in your life, or experiences in general do you lose until you start looking in the mirror and thinking to yourself, there has to be something that I am doing? You know, I was on a job and my regional manager at that time, who loved me, gave me a book about emotional intelligence. A couple months after that, I lost the dating situation because she told me I had too much emotional baggage. I didn't understand at the time because I had a great paying job. I had my own house. I had my own things going on. I thought the success I had financially and physically and how I presented and how I could show up was enough. I didn't realize emotions played such a heavy role in life. I didn't realize communication, especially in communicating myself and showing up, how much of a role that it played. So it wasn't until about 2020, 2021 that it hit me. I was in therapy. Even in couples therapy, it started to hit me. I started to be able to communicate myself. I started to be able to understand, like, yeah, even though I was harmed, even though I experienced childhood trauma, even though I've been in some messed up situations, I don't have to carry that. And while healing is not linear, I have tools to work through it and communicate myself and not continue a cycle. And every day is not perfect. I promise you that. But every day can be intentional. I don't have to be a victim. It doesn't have to be woe is me. I can work through what I've been through. The emotional intelligence and maturity I have today wasn't the same 5 years ago. I can acknowledge that. I want to continue to grow, learn, and love. I've lost a lot to get to this point. Life is really a journey, and it's difficult to tell other people to enjoy it every step of the way while I'm struggling too. But one thing I can tell you is where you are now, you won't be in 5 years if you put forth the intention and the work. Take a moment to self reflect on your experiences from the other dynamics perspective, not yours. Don't put in your excuses. Don't put in your explanation. Don't put in your perspective. Reflect on it from the other person's point of view, on how you may have affected them. Oftentimes, we leave people with the same harm that we've experienced and don't even realize it. And it's good to sit with that. So, moving forward, you don't have to do that again. You don't have to be a prisoner to your pain and trauma. You don't have to be a victim trapped in darkness and misery and hating yourself for what you've been through. I want anybody listening to this message and having a hard time to understand self reflection is an incredible tool. communication and communicating directly. You know, I recently lost a friendship where all they had to do was come talk to me directly, and it could have been resolved in a probably matter of 30 minutes. Sit with losing years over a 30-minute conversation. Oftentimes, people will misunderstand things or hear things from third-party situations. He said, she said. Go directly to the source and communicate. Communication, emotional intelligence, being able to work through your emotions, identify yourself and communicate yourself well, and being able to be accountable and own up to how you even showed up in situations. These things are not easy. I won't act like they are. A lot of the tools I have now, I got from individual therapy and couples therapy, and still learning because I am in current friendships, relationships, connections in my life that teach me day to day how I could address something better than what I did at that time. And I'm open to receiving these lessons. Sometimes I get a little defensive. I won't even lie. But a lot of times, all I need to do is just take a step back and just recognize, like, okay, I need to take a moment, breathe, and hear what's being said to me. Oftentimes, we be listening to respond instead of listening to understand. So lately, I've been wanting to listen double the time that I talk. I want to be able to navigate life without being a victim or woe is me. I want to be able to continue to build, grow, and love and create a great community around me. I won't say that this process, our journey is linear, but what I will say is I'm going to try my best. Like I'm going to try my absolute best and put forth the attention. In a relationship I lose now, I want to be able to say I really tried my best. I could say that for the last two relationships I've lost. I could like sit down and say, I really tried my best. I gave my effort. And sometimes my best is not enough, and that is okay. That is okay. At least I don't have to walk away from those dynamics, second guessing myself, wondering what ifs, you know? So if you're listening, please self reflect. Please do what you need to do to develop emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. Work on your communication. A lot of people think that isolation is where you get your healing, but I would disagree. I think community is where you get it because community will show you your flaws and all and the things that you need to work on and improve. People so hell bent on people are so set on cutting people off and being done with them. Depending on the situation, I would say, are you running from something that would push you to grow? Reflect on that. I do every day. Thank you for coming by and listening to me talk. Thank you for continuously supporting my YouTube channel. Really enjoying this gardening. It's given me a lot to process, learn, and grow, especially as a human being. I'm starting to realize that plants are much different from us. A little bit of sun, a little bit of water, and I've been having a good day. The only thing that's really been getting me out of bed every day is gardening. So I hope that I can inspire somebody else. Love always.